So here we go, one of the big names in action here in Düsseldorf on day one. Stephen Bunting, a Premier League player, up against arguably the best German player in the draw. Only one or two Germans left involved here in Düsseldorf. Jyhan Artut, perhaps overdue a win in Europe this year, having gone close in previous events on the European calendar. But up against it, against a man who on his day can be a class act. By the same token, Bunting has been guilty of blowing hot and cold on occasions, especially in Europe as well. Rod Harrington back with me. Rod, it's hotting up out there, isn't it, in more ways than one?
It certainly is. Good crowd in here this evening in Düsseldorf, and there should be plenty of noise for Artut here against Stephen Bunting. And you're kind of right, Rob, what you said, that especially in the European events, Steve's not been consistent.
No.
And that he needs to put right. But on the same token, Artut, I mean, sometimes he can be pretty poor, but then all of a sudden he turns up, and you've got to look out.
Well, he's a player who really shot to prominence when he qualified for the 2012 PDC World Championship through the European Order of Merit. He was drawn to play Gary Anderson in round one. It turned out to be one of the most exciting first-round matches ever seen as Ali Pali. He won the opening two sets, got pulled back fairly quickly, but then missed 4 darts to win the match in the 10th leg of the deciding set. And Anderson eventually got over the line, winning with a sudden death leg as well. So that was when really Jyhan Artut came to the attention of fans in the UK in particular, but he's been a very, very popular player here in Germany for some time now.
140.
And he is arguably Germany's best hope here now, especially with 3 of their own having been knocked out already. We've got one more German involved
58.
later, Michael Rosenauer, on stage later, but Artut perhaps given one of the toughest draws he could have imagined at this stage, but
Well, he hasn't kicked off bad. And Stephen yet to hit a treble and throw, and very quick, and I don't know how to explain that, but as if he didn't care, that last one. And Artut's in there again.
Ooh,
that's unlucky.
Yeah, it pinged off the centre of the board. I think it was destined for a 25, but anyway, might not matter too much because he has a 260-point cushion at the moment, 60. And Bunting's only chipped away 60 there. Well, double 16.
69.
Obviously, Langendorf go that way earlier on.
It's the European way, perhaps.
He's had a dart on the double, so it suggests that it worked for him.
57. January 32.
10 times it wouldn't. But this will be a nice little tidy leg against the throw.
Yeah, it was very important he finished that off. He did really, really well to put himself in that position in the first place. Didn't want to be messing about with the doubles for too long, and eventually gets the double 8 and has the early break. What a start for the German, what a start for the crowd here, sensing an opportunity, perhaps an upset on the cards maybe.
Well, Steve I don't think he hit a treble in that leg at all. Well, he's put that right now.
140.
And he's got 2 there, so Bunting showing signs of life at long last.
140.
But Artut has followed in. Well, Stephen Bunting's got to stay focused here. You don't want to let a German in front of his own crowd,
140.
You know, get a couple of legs up, because then the noise will really start to pound on you.
Yeah, it went a bit quiet in that last match. I think people nipped off to get refreshment, 60. Shall we say, after that lengthy match between Henderson and Andrew Gilding. So there was a bit of a lull before this arrival of Artut on stage.
51.
And the noise has just cranked up a gear here. And it will get louder and louder if Artut can keep himself in a good position. Has the early break. 60. He's lost a flight, but he gets the point.
170.
Well, Stephen can't afford to have a visit without a treble here.
Not that sort.
Yeah, it's a big treble. I mean, even a big treble's not going to give him.
43.
Yes, I mean,
January
and those
1,
darts are a long way
144.
off. He's very inconsistent. And Artut now another one of those. Oh,
that's a shame.
I like the 25 here. He's gone
78.
For the, again,
Senior
Rob,
one,
if he'd have gone
127.
25, gives him 2 darts guaranteed at a double. May not even get back to the board though. Double 8.
Beautiful from Bunting, but he was some way off with that
Genuine 66.
attempt at double 8. Oh, he's hit the 25 there, 41 required. Will he go 9 double 16? Sorry. Yep. He will, and he does.
Second leg, Jyhan.
Just for a moment there, I thought he was changing his mind, but
Game on.
he stuck to his guns.
$134.
And it's a good hold from Jyhan Artut.
Stephen Bunting has got to start getting serious.
59.
Well, Artut has never been beyond the second round of a European Tour event. He lost 6-5 to Mensur Suljovic in the first round in Munich. That was harsh as well, I remember that really well. As Bunting lands a really big blow there. He was also a first round in Riesa a few weeks ago, I should say. Lost to Johnny Clayton.
83.
Bunting needs to get on the scoreboard here, and he's in a good position to do so after that maximum. Yeah, some 40 to back it up as well. He looks to be in a very, very good position now to hold his throw here.
45. Steve Jyhan 47.
Just a reshuffle across the hockey, and it's to good effect as well.
Well, that should help him out. A nice 12 dart leg. However, he's still got a break. Jyhan Artut. He's going to win this game.
100.
He needs a 12 darter against the throw now. 180 to frighten the German. And perhaps frighten him. He's going to
140.
Did Bunting seem to get much out of his visit to Japan? I know he lost to Van Gerwen in the end, but was it a good experience for him, do you think?
I think it was a great experience for everybody. I mean, a few of them had been over there many, many years ago, but not to the extent that we did this tournament.
140.
It was Matt Porter and especially Matt Porter and our staff. I mean, the way they put it together was excellent.
Yeah.
60.
You're not only dealing with a different culture of business, you're talking the time difference. So when you're asleep, they're at work. So you've got all that to cope with. But they did a great job. Absolutely perfect it was.
You a fan of sushi as well?
Well, I actually ate a whole meal with chopsticks,
121.
which was a feat.
Big achievement.
My hands did help me out a few times, I have to say.
81.
Probably it was good for the others because I never ate as much as I normally did. But no, we had a couple of great meals. And
I find the chopsticks slow you down as well. It's quite good. It's probably good for you, not you in particular, but good for everyone. Anyway, back to the darts. Still 2-1. Artut leads. Bunting though,
35. January 86.
bluffing his lines there. Topsy needed to break back and he failed to do so. Double 16. And Artut holds very nicely indeed. My word, he was let off the hook there though. Artut was probably resigned to the fact that Bunting would level things up there. 3 darts at double top and he failed to take it out.
100.
Well, in the early part of the game, people like Bunting, the top 8-12 players, they don't tend to panic for the first 2 or 3 legs.
100.
If it's not going for them, they kind of let themselves play into it. But like with that previous leg where he missed darts at a double and Artut nicks it and takes out a good shot, it'll only go on so long before 95. All of a sudden the pressure will pile on, say, Stephen Bunting. So he's got to get it right very shortly, otherwise, as I said, the crowd will get a bit noisy. Artut in front of his German crowd, his home crowd will start to get very confident.
Well, Bunting's averages, his first 9 average isn't too bad. The overall average dips, of course, as you might expect,
59.
but it's 1 from 6 on the checkouts. That spin is undoing to some extent here as well, coupled with Artut being more effective and more efficient on the checkout percentages, taking his chances.
Well, Steve can't afford a visit without a treble here. Should find a treble from that first dart.
137.
That's a good visit, but Artut now. 2 trebles for him would certainly put the pressure on, and that's a perfect dart. Look at the fin on the flight. Surely he's going to find another treble from there. I mean, he just had to. It was absolutely perfect. And that's what I was talking about, putting the pressure on.
Well, he's oozing confidence at the moment, Artut. I'm sure deep down he's
92. Jyhan requires 61.
got a few butterflies in his tummy, but he looks comfortable out there. Not a bead of sweat on him, by the way, on what is a very, very warm night, both inside and outside the arena.
I think it's hit the 16.
He has indeed, so it's left 45. That leaves double 16 for a 4-1 lead.
That's what I mean. I mean, the double 18, Steve, was really low, a full dart. And Artut is not missing his doubles. He's had an 86, now a 61. And that double 16 has really given Stephen Bunting some problems. He seems to be throwing very
59.
quick tonight, Steve. I mean, quicker than normal.
Yeah. Well, this will do him the world of good. You could get those through a polo mint. I mean, that's...
You could, and the pace, that they were, all 3 of those darts were a lot slower. If you throw a little bit slower, you guarantee that you're picking the dart
60.
in the same place all the time. You're setting the dart right. It's so easy to be more consistent. But when you, I know a lot of players speed up. You know, the Lewises and the Van Gerwens, but at times,
100.
you know, when it isn't working for you, you've just got to stand back and recoup a little bit.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I think he should have had a maximum there. I'm pretty sure that came out of the treble 20, but that could make the world of difference here. Bunting still with work to do.
60.
Yeah, and he's not found a treble there either, so maybe a chance here. Big score from Artut would make an impact. Could do with another one.
98.
Yes, you have to switch to the 18s to make sure he left himself a check out. And again, a visit without a treble could be problems. He's not done that, so now the 51. He'll come back up to the top.
97.
And again, Rob, I know I keep saying it time and time again. When you're in a position here like Steve is, he needs to get an extra dart at a double. Now, admittedly, if he hits the treble 16 or the treble 8, he will have 2.
64.
But he may only get the 1 dart, and the way Artut's checking out, he's got to be careful. He's only going to get the 1.
Yeah, he is indeed. Double 16 to reduce the deficit to 4-2, and that was some way off as well.
Jyhan 104.
Outside chance. Well, good chance here for Artut. That leaves 84. Wow.
Yeah, the first dart was so wild.
Yeah.
It was so far over pitched. He had no
56.
range, no length.
Jyhan 16.
It weren't the best of guides, so Stephen Bunting to get a break, a throwback.
Crowd are playing their part here, as you can detect in the background, but Bunting isn't knocked off his stride there, and it's now 4-2.
Game on.
That's one break back.
Yes, he's got to fire in a couple of quick legs here. And I don't mean quick as in throwing too quick. I mean quick as in least darts.
Carbon
that will
copy,
certainly help.
Almost a carbon copy of his last 180. Clustered together, quick momentum, quick delivery.
96.
Breezed through qualifying, by the way, Stephen Bunting. Played 2 matches in qualifying in Crawley, lost only 1 leg against Wayne Jones. 6-1 the score, and Matt Edgar beaten 6-0. Got to the quarters in Riesa, went down 6-5 to Ian White in a match that could easily have gone either way. Bullitt certainly had his chances in that one. Was one of the seeds in Venray as well, but went down to Josh Payne there. Talks about him blowing hot and cold in Europe, and he's doing it again tonight as well.
58. Stephen, you
Yeah,
require
when Artut
161.
flying them darts a good couple of inches high, he really has a problem getting down to the treble from there. It's probably best to switch to the 19s.
100.
Yeah, and Artut may well be playing darts as well as with his hands
40.
between the ears as well now, because suddenly a 4-1 lead could become 4-3, and it's a very, very different game. Double 18, 4-4-3, and there it is.
Stephen Bunting.
And Bunting's in the room now.
Yes, this is the leg that Artut has got to stay straight. No more than 15 darts. Make Bunting work.
140.
That's a great start.
Yeah, that'll do.
Because if Artut can win this, then the real pressure is on.
Kim Huybrechts awaits the winner of this one, by the way, tomorrow.
140.
Huybrechts seeded 13 for this event. Got the old Dutch affair coming up. Dirk van Dijvenbode against Leo Hendricks. And then we have
100.
the final match of the night, but not before another maximum from Stephen Bunting. And Artut is under all sorts of pressure now. Jamie Lewis
60.
against Michael Rosenauer, the last match of the night. Another German in action.
$59.
180 backed up though by a 59, but still Bunting in a good position to break back again here. But look at this from Artut. Has to settle for the 140. Got the crowd going though momentarily. That's important for Artut. Needs to get the crowd back on side. That will help him. That will do him the world of good. Has that found the 54? Yes, it has. And he wasn't a million miles away.
114.
Well, this could hurt Stephen Bunting. If Artut takes this out, he's going to get a dart at the double. And he's hit it.
Jyhan.
That could spell some trouble for the ex-world champion.
Stephen to throw first. Game on. $58.
Well, 3 legs left in this match.
100.
Well, now that really has put the cat amongst the pigeons, and Stephen Bunting now has got to pull out all the stops. He's going to have to find some big scores if it's to stay in this
58.
match. And you have to say that those first, well, especially the first 2 legs, he was very dull. Never hit really a treble.
100.
Well, 4 perfect darts for Jyhan Artut, but nevertheless he's still in great shape here. It just seemed to be running away from him, didn't it? But then suddenly he's just regained the initiative from somewhere. He's got it
60.
back on side again. He's got the crowd on side again as well. And he's got the possibility here of another break. He might want to finish it off at this time of asking.
93.
Well, he's done exactly what he needed to do. He's hit a big treble. He's going to now get 6 darts from 128 to knock Stephen Bunting
140.
out of this year's
January
European Masters here in
128.
Düsseldorf. Yeah, he's done the right thing. He didn't need to go the bullseye route.
100.
And again, he finds the treble with the last dart. He will come back for double 14.
He will, and it certainly will be the biggest upset of day 1 if he can pull it off.
28.
Stephen Bunting, the Premier League player, on the verge of defeat here. Double 14. He only needs 1 dart at it as well. And Germany will have a representative in the 2nd round of the European Darts Open this weekend. A terrific performance by Jyhan Artut, their main hope of their 5 representatives. Brilliant stuff from him. Looked to be running away from him when Bunting fought back to 4-3, but Artut managed to resurrect the situation, managed to get himself back on side, back on track. The crowd got their tails up again, and they are now celebrating the fact that one of their own will be involved this weekend. Kim Huybrechts lies in wait tomorrow. In the meantime, Jyhan Artut can celebrate a very, very notable scalp. And for Stephen Bunting, his European Tour misery continues this season. Hasn't really hit the heights in Europe so far, and he's on his way home on the next plane as well. Artut goes through, we'll hear from him now with Elmer Polka. Just to remind you once again, up next we've got the all-Dutch affair between Leo Hendricks and another qualifier from last night, Dirk van Dijvenbode. But here is the man behind the biggest shock of the weekend so far, Jyhan Artut.
Ja, auf jeden Fall. Ich war ja nach dem 4-1 ziemlich weit vorne, dann fange ich wieder an zu schwächeln und das hat mich ganz schön genervt. Und ich habe Steven auch vorhin gesagt, die Finishes, die ich gemacht habe, die Doppel-16 lief wie Sau heute. Und das war mein Glück und ich bin froh, dass ich ihn nicht wieder ins Spiel kommen lassen habe. Und dafür musste ich auch diese blöden Finishes machen und da bin ich echt stolz drauf heute.
Stimmung für den Freitagabend? Eine 1.
Ja, für den Freitagabend ist das hier der Oberhammer, Jungs. Ich danke euch vielmals.
Jyhan, vielleicht eins noch, hat es eben auch gesagt, als du hier auf die Bühne kamst, beim World Cup schon richtig gut gespielt, auch gegen Taylor ein gutes Match gemacht. Irgendwie jetzt in den letzten Wochen und Monaten fasst du wieder Fuß.
Also vor dem World Cup Riesa, das 6-1 gegen den gegen den Griechen. Das war noch ziemlich schlecht, was ich da gespielt habe, aber dann vor dem World Cup, ich habe viel trainiert, ich habe Max getroffen. Wir haben am Abend vorher, vor dem Donnerstag gegen das Spiel gegen Indien, haben wir, glaube ich, 9 Spiele Best of 11 gemacht und das hat geholfen, ohne Ende. Und ich war auch im Practice-Bereich super drauf. Das habe ich ganz nicht auf die Bühne gekriegt da, aber trotzdem war das richtig gut beim World Cup und das hat mein Selbstbewusstsein 100%ig voll aufgebaut und in letzter Zeit spiele ich aber klasse Darts.
Und jetzt auch diesen Sieg mitnehmen. Wir sehen dich morgen wieder. Wir freuen uns drauf. Ladies and Gentlemen, Jyhan Artut!